Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalam ala akmalani at-tamani Nabina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa sallam tasliman kathira. Amma ba'd. Sorry for the delay. We had some people praying, so it's not proper to speak over them when they're praying. If you're even given the dars and they come in and pray while you're talking, you should try to lower the voice. Some of our Shaikh mentioned. So I hadn't started and they were praying, so I have to wait some here for those online. This camera is centered, okay?
I'm going to center it right now for you.
Stand, just move the stand.
Now you're looking better. God bless you.
I mean, I think about it. I like that people. This is our first class, which would be the Jumu'ah, Thursday night class, in other words, Tafsir, al-Imam, Abi Fatah, al-Hafiz, al-Muhaddith, al-Faqih, Imam ibn Kathir, rahimahullah ta'ala. And inshallah ta'ala, we'll do the best we can. This is very lengthy, this study, but we want to give some benefit to the people from it as they have translated bridge versions and other than that to English. And I'm not trying to invent the wheel, not saying I'm the best one for this, but we did study this work in the hands of our Imam al-Wada'iyu, Abi Abdurrahman Muqbil ibn Hadi al-Wada'iyu al-Hamdani al-Yemeni, rahimahullah ta'ala, on a regular basis. And when he died, those lessons never stopped until the destruction of Masjid Muqbil on the hands of those Rahabi. Allah Azza wa Jal. Now, Allah take them to task. Allah musta'an. But alhamdulillah, not bragging, this is something we did on a regular basis to sit here. And the alternate days after Salat al-Dhuhr. One day would be Tafsir al-Kathir, and the next day at that time it would be Jam' al-Sahih mimma laysa fi Sahihain. Shaykh Muqbil himself wrote and compiled in 20 years to bring those hadith that were not from Bukhari Muslim, but they were on the level of Bukhari Muslim as it relates to authenticity from the other books of the Sunnah. And then the next day we go back to Tafsir Kathir at the book, and then the next. So it was a rotating class that never stopped, as opposed to ماذا فتح الباري شيخ البخاري ابن حجر الأسقلاني كان كل يوم, that was every day, بعد صلاة العصر, after we pray العصر. وكذلك تفسير شرح صحيح مسلم للإمام النووي رحمه الله تعالى كل ليلة بين المغرب والعشاء, that was every night. MashaAllah, I could smile and cry at the same time. What a nick. After Salat al-Maghrib, the Tafsir, Yani Ibn Kathir, explanations of Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, those classes never stopped in the notch. And if you stayed, you sat, you didn't travel 5 years or more, you could finish Fath al-Bari and Sahih Muslim, because they were every day. That's for Tafsir and Kathir. And if you traveled and came back, it wouldn't be finished, but eventually we will finish it 6 years or so, maybe, and then we will start over now. So for that reason, given the Shaykh is haq, because Allah alayhi, Shaykh al-Muqbil wa ba'dahu khalifatuhu al-Hajuri, then we have great benefit in studying that book. So we want to give some benefit from the Tafsir al-Kathir بعون الله وبركاته. We ask Allah to help us with His blessings and His rahmah, yahdiyana min sabil al-rashad, to guide us, direct us in that. Wallahi, wallahu musta'an alayhi to Allah, and Allah, He is the one we seek His help, and we put our trust in Him. Tayyib. This is the introduction, inshallah. We're going to just talk about who he is, why we should study his tafsir, what some ulama said about him, just a little bit. قطع من سيرته, just a small portion of his biography. This Imam, Allah Musta'an, his effect on the Ummah as the Imam of Tafsir, his effect on the Muslims worldwide from the time that he lived until now still exists. And others came before and after him to write Tafsir, but Allah Azza wa Jal, and He chose him to be the one to make this type of Tafsir. And he is known as Hafiz ibn Kathir. Hafiz ibn Kathir. He himself, Hafiz ibn Kathir, he was able to get every science, every type of knowledge in the religion you'll find in his tafsir. Amazing. Any type of knowledge, the origin of all knowledge first is from the Book of Allah, whether it be the Arabic language, whether it be hadith or ilm al-hadith, the knowledge of hadith, a special section, ulum al-hadith, whether it be usul al-fiqh, the tools and things you need to understand the Quran, usul al-tafsir, the tools and things you need to understand explanation of the Quran, or it be al-nahu, wal-sarf, wal-balagha, the issues of the Arabic language with the sentence structure, the word structure, and conveyance with different methods, whether it be a sirah, the biography of those Anbiya and Mursaleen, qasas of Anbiya and Mursaleen, stories of the prophets that came before the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, whether it be barakallahu fikum, al-ulum ad-dunyawiyan, different things and knowledge concerning this life, such as al-ma'u, water, al-hadid, iron, steel, al-insaniya, of that which has to do with the human beings, any type of department of knowledge you can think of is in the Tafsir. He brought it out. And that's a hard thing to do. That's a hard thing to do. So that's one of the proofs that Allah accepted his juhud kabira, his great effort, and his work given to be from that time until now. It's still renowned around the world. Although others came before him, such as Imam Muhammad Jarir al-Tabari, who are أول من صنف تفسير, Muhammad Jarir al-Tabari, Ibn Kathir, mashallah, Allah chose him to have the tafsir better than Imam al-Tabari. Those who came after him did tafsir, Zamakhshari and Razi and Bagwi. Still, no one has been able to duplicate. By the allowance of Allah, Allah only allowed him to have that status with tafsir Imam Ibn Kathir. And the Prophet Allah Azza wa Jall's Prophet mentioned this to us, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He would make a person's work and aqwal shakhsun, kutub shakhsun, qabulan in the khalqi. One of the ways that you know that Allah Azza wa Jalla blessed and accepted that person's work and the Prophet informed us is that it will be something, when we say kabul, in the nas, that means that the people have a great need for it. That the need for that thing won't die out. No matter who and where they are, they in need of that work or that book or those writings. This is one of the ways you know Allah was pleased with it and He accepted it. Kabul, kutubi, al-fati, had the shocks that individual. And you can see that with the books of Habib. This Tafsir, by the way, is not the only work. It also has a extensive work, 30-something volumes, where the Tafsir of Kathir, depending on who published it, most of the time is 3 volumes. And I've seen with the thin paper and the skinnier volume, it become 4. But most of the time, it's the last ajza, Tafsir Imam Hafiz. Where on the other hand, his book Al-Bidayah wa Nihayah, Allahu Akbar, Al-Bidayah wa Nihayah, where he wrote everything from what you need to know from the first thing Allah created all the way to Yom Al-Qiyamah, and it's 30-something volumes, depending on who published it, 36, 35, subhanAllah. And I remember the first time I laid eyes on it, it was, I had, Allah, at that time, after making Hajj in 95, and Allah accepted, I went to Egypt, Yemen, and then I came back to the States for about a year and some change, and I went back to Yemen. One of the brothers that was doing prison time, he was in the, what you call halfway house, where when you wind down in prison time, you go to this facility and you do your time, you max out there, or they send you from there to a drug program or mental health, and then you come home and hit the streets. So this brother, he had learned some level of Arabic, and he had this work, Bidayah and Haya, and Ibn Kathir. So he asked me, he said, Shaikh, as I would go there voluntarily, give khutbah, do Eid, do those to help them out, because they had no access to the outside world. They were almost like in a prison in which someone contracted or subcontracted, I should say, to house them because the jails were overcrowded. This is what you call a private jail. They started to make them and call them other names, facilities. So that person, he said, I have this worksheet. You could benefit from it more than me. I'm in here. You know, can you get it, keep it for me? And there was going to be dialogue on the height of Kathir. And I got it. I said, wow, it was amazing. And so that work is also known by the world as it relates to what our Prophet mentioned, when a person, Allah accepts from him his work, will make that work where people have to depend on it, no matter where they are from amongst the different races and backgrounds. They need that work. The Bidayah wa Nihayah, the book where he wrote about everything. Min al-qalam of al-arsh ila yawm al-qiyamah, from the creation of the pen or the arsh to yawm al-qiyamah. Imam Ibn al-Wahid. Shaikh al-Doctor Uthman Qamis, he was asked a question about Ibn Kathir. Shaykh Uthman Qamis is from our ulama, who's from Kuwait, from ulama, يعني المسلمون يعني يعتقدوا عقيدته يعتقدوا عقيدته ومنهجه يعني السلف الصالح. He's a poem that describes to the belief and the way of our prophet, companions, and those ulama, the imma, from amongst those people of this blessed deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was asked, is it true that people have talk bad about this work, the bidayah and the hayat and kathir? And in addition to them talking bad about the work, does that work have issues with regards to al-inhiraf fi al-ittiqad or islam or sifat or label? Does it have problems as it relates to deviation with regards to belief, names, attributes, and so forth? So Shaykh al-Khamisi said, no, if we are to be imam, first of all. Yes, imam here means that he's leading again in that which we're talking about, worship, ibadah, taqwa, avoiding things that could send you to the fire, staying away from all types of sins, his giving and charity, his life of seeking knowledge and giving knowledge, his writings and so forth. This is the meaning of imam. People during that time praised them greatly, and people attest to no one has come like him in his time to match him nor after him regarding his work. So that's imam. And also Shaykh Al-Khamisi said, but he's a human being. He could make some mistake, so like if someone is saying, is he mistake free? No, we don't say that about anybody after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, with regards to his work having mistakes to the point that you shouldn't read his bidayah and al-haya, or that has issues of aqidah, i'tiqad, that are wrong, error, or and the names and attributes of Allah. He said, no one has, to my knowledge, Shaykh al-Khamisi said that about him. He said in his, he creators known as the aqidah, the belief, the methodology, the manhaj of a salaf salih. يضيف إلى السلف هذه الأمة وهم النبي وأصحابه وقرون المفضلة, the first three generations, and those imams that come after them from the great ulama. So that's one thing. You hear people saying that. Sometimes they want to attack, they want to bring people away. It's a war against the book of the Sunnah from a long time ago, and then you have shubuhat, misconceptions of Allah musta'an. Tay. So he's a mufassir, he's someone who deals with the tafsir. He's a muhaddith, and he's a person, a historical scholar. Tafsir, historical scholar, and a scholar of hadith, which that in itself is tremendous, like oceans. He is a person who originally is from the area of Sham. Sham here, and he is what people now today say Syria, Jordan, Palestine, and the old days what we would call the Sham. Sham. He Salam Dakara, Shamina, Yemenina, when he made dua for them, he said, Allahumma barik fi Yemenina wa Shamina. So Allah bless, these regions of Yemen and Sham. And the Sahaba that were there, they said, what we next, and what about, on the Arabian Peninsula? And the Prophet wouldn't answer. And then he said, Allahumma barik fi Yemenina wa Shamina. Bless our Yemen and in Sham. And they said, well, if he next, and what about the Arabian Peninsula? And after the third time, he said, no. I didn't add the Arabian Peninsula. He said, لأن يجلع منه قرن الشيطان كما قال. He said, because what will come from the Arabian Peninsula is the rise of the horns of the devil. Now, different scholars, they have their meanings to what that means, their interpretation. But the Prophet asked Allah to bless, to put in those two places, Yemen and Sham, Barakah, amongst the commotion that they face, still to make it blessed, to make it special. And we see right now today, no place is more worn and torn, while people are still there trying to establish and practice the religion of Islam, than Sham or Yemen. Allah Islam. True that. True that. SubhanAllah. And these people have some resilience, some level of iman, like, mashallah. So this, Kathir min Sham is from this area. So for this reason, they call him Kunyati Abu Fidan. Now, Abu Ma'ala Fidan. This is part of, because it's from Sham, that area of what we say Damascus or Dimishq. His name was Muhammad ibn Ismail ibn Kathir. Muhammad ibn Ismail ibn Kathir. And I remember some time spent we're in 2023. I'm going to go back to Hawaii 2013. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I'm going to say about 11 years maybe. I remember listening to a lecture. One of the Shaikh was talking about his life. And he mentioned that the father of Ibn Kathir, he had an older son named Muhammad. What we know, Muhammad ibn Ismail, the dad, Kathir wasn't born yet. So imagine, you're a man, you have children, and your oldest son name is Muhammad. And I forget all of the details. Allah don't hold me accountable, but I remember a fatal accident happened where that son of his fell, and I believe he hit his head and he died. And that son was close to his father. You ever have like a situation, a parent who has a son and he really, people love all of the children sometimes, some more than others, but this was a close relationship. And that son learned like different stuff from the father and copied his craftsmanship, and he memorized Quran, if I'm not mistaken, and he was like, SubhanAllah, like Allah Azza wa Jalla mentioned, the father looked at me, was pleased. But Allah tested him. Allah Ta'ala tested him with the loss of that son. So when his wife got pregnant with the next child, he named him Muhammad as well, and they made special dua, and it's like Allah replaced that son he was testing with something better, subhanAllah. Because of his pain and his love and his grievance of that son that he lost, the oldest son named Muhammad. So this Muhammad ibn Ismail, the son of Ismail, and Abi Fidda ibn Kathir, mashallah, his special after that father who really lost his son by the name of Muhammad. Imad is like Imad. Something this kind of like you say Shamsuddin, Saifuddin, Nuruddin, Nasruddin. These are particular laqab الذي مسند إلى شخص هو الذي نبذ حياته بخدمة الدين في جهود كبيرة. If he spends and devotes and exhausts most of his life, all of his life to the religion, he gets these kind of nicknames. So, Imad al-Din, like the one who's like holding the religion. He's like a pillar physically of the religion. Without him, again, people will be at a great loss. And this is by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah accepting his work and his great effort, Imam Ibn Kathir. Who Basri? Now, some say Basri and Basra. Yeah, you can say them both. Basr, يعني بالفتحة والبصر. العلماء كلاهما صحيح والمعنى واحد. نعم البصر والبصر. لكن يعني الأول يعني هو يعني to say بالفتحة. This one يعني هو يعني أفصح. يعني نعم, it's more أشهر. It's more famous for the Arabs to say, and it's يعني something that's more preferred to say with fatha. But if you say with fatha or kasra, it said the meaning is one Basra or Busra. Now, so he's from Basra, يعني which بلا شك يعني هو يعني الشام, the area of Sham, again, people old to say, and this Rexel of our capital is from that area of Basra or Busra at the Mish. In Basra, Basra is a Korea Samaha Mashda. In this place is a village or a Majda. Majda is a place that is historically connected to and it's a Koshia. He is connected by way of being born in that village, in the Damesh, to Koshia. That you call al-Qurshi, not al-Qurshi. Now, so this you see again, his lineage goes back to the Qurshi, those people from that area, that time, all the way back to the great generations of companions of those people of the past. From amongst those, we will say his contemporaries, the time he lived in, so you can get an idea. He lived in the time of Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah. Hafiz al-Dhahabi, Imam al-Hafiz, Shamsuddin Hafiz al-Dhahabi. And this shows you how much knowledge in the great time that he was around. Wow, they all benefited from him greatly. The likes of Ibn Qayyim and Imam al-Dhahabi. Now, and each one of them had a great effect on one another. And you can see how he benefited from the likes of Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyah and Hafiz al-Dhahabi and his Tafsir. If you know anything about their style, their knowledge, their diqqat al-ilm or ta'aleef, that how precise they were with their knowledge and their writings, you can see it within his work, that generation, and how they wrote. Resemblance and the كيف سوق الكتاب والسنة ويعني كيف يكون فيه فوائد كثيرة, how we bring ayat and hadith, the style and the abilities that he had. That was a great time and a great people that mirrored Qayyim Juziyah, likes Imam al-Dhahabi, and here Imam Ibn Kathir. And many of the ulama, again, when we will talk about reading Tafsir, you won't find Ibn Kathir falling short of the issue of the issues connected to who Allah is and Allah's lordship. While in other Tafsir, we found that people had those errors. In this, it's common that some ulama, they will hit and miss when it comes to that, especially when we talk about tafsir. And remember, this era that Imam Ibn Kathir was in, people were affected by Mu'taziliyah, which was, Allah was very prominent with regards to being on the scene during that time, which is a group that deviated in the issues of the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. إلى الآن موجودون. إلى الآن موجودون. And they exist up until this time, Mu'tazila. Some of them have different names, different descriptions. So this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected Imam Ibn Kathir. And you could see in this tafsir that protection, as many of the scholars will try. You could see it in the tafsir, the effect of that regarding explaining who Allah is, His names and attributes and so forth. When we talk about this point, the ulama, they make this clear. أنجاه الله إمام ابن كثير عن هذه الزلف اللسان أول ماذا كتابته. The credit goes to Allah. Allah saved him. As again, the environment was polluted with this. If you go all the way back to after the time when the Prophet died, or before that time, with regards to Dhul Qawaisam, who grabbed the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam by the neck. He said, "Ya Muhammad." First, you can't say "Ya Muhammad" to the Prophet. La yajuz. Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala said, "Watawakkaruhu wata'assiruhu." Na'am. Watawakkaruhu wata'assiruhu. You have to respect the Prophet and show a level of dignity regarding him. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala also mentioned that تقدموا بين يدي الله ورسوله. He coupled the Prophet with him, Jalla wa Ala, the Most High, with regards to us doing something before the statement of Allah, the decision of Allah, the ruling of Allah, and His Messenger. Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, he also mentioned with regards to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "Man yuti'i Rasulah faqad a'ata Allah." Whoever obeys the Messenger is equal to obeying Allah. Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So when we talk about the issue of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, following him, and this issue with regards to the life of Ibn Kathir and that which people fell into, then it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected him from those slips of the tongue, those writings, those deviant beliefs, all the way back to the time of the Prophet again, through waste. Seldom Allah has mentioned his that we follow and how we believe in the message. Whatever the message of Allah gives, whatever He told you don't do, forbade you, stay away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about the message and said, إنك
al-azim, emphasizing, and that small jumla khabariyah sentence is giving information about the Prophet without any doubt. 4 different ways Allah emphasized He has khuluqul azim. How can someone grab the Prophet firstly and say, Ya Muhammad, la? That's the opposite of respecting him. That's the opposite of revering him. That's the opposite of how you deal with him. He's not like any other person. And you say, it did, be just, because you don't like what he dispersed to you. So the Prophet mentioned from that time that people will come and become deviant groups with regards to the Muslims. He also mentioned the Qadariyya, Majus, Hadil Ummah. Now that the Qadariyya, they resemble the Majus. Some scholars said he just mentioned that they will have the same fitna as the Majus, fire worshippers. But some others said that, he mentioned like they are those people, in our deen, almost like disguising like they are the Majus. Meaning, تشبيههم في أفكارهم واعتقادهم وغير that they will resemble them in their ideas and what they believe. He also mentioned about the Khawarij, which they are in different groups. They are in different times, different names. They are Kilab, Al-Nar, Kilab Al-Nar, they are the Kilab, the dogs of the fire. So this the Prophet he emphasized with regards to groups. He said in the Hadith, أخرجه سنن إمام ابن داود في سننه عن بعد السابع قال سلم he mentioned من يعيش منكم من بعدي, whoever lives after me سيرى اختلافا كثيرا. So this again, after I die, all hell is going to break loose. You're going to see all these problems with the Muslims. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ, he got knowledge from Allah, and he mentioned from the beginning of it is this man who grabbed it and said, Ya Muhammad, be just. So why am I mentioning that? Because likewise, when we talk about this issue, it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that protected. This is the part where ulama had mentioned, جَهَرَ اللَّهُ إِمَامَ الْكَثِيرِ عن هذه الزلات وعن هذه الأخطاء وعن هذه الأفكار الضلالة. It is Allah who protected the Imam from those tests that he wouldn't be affected. Imam Ibn Kathir, Hafiz Ibn Kathir, rahimahullah ta'ala. They mentioned, like Imam al-Dhahabi, when he talked about it, he said, كان كثيرا عبادة. Subhanallah. كان كثيرا عبادة. كان كثيرا عبادة means that person didn't miss any salawat al-khamsa, first of all. Imagine just being a person of ibadah. That's supposed to be the most, some type of. But here it said كان كثيرا عبادة. He was a person that was absorbed in worship. He had a lot of worship. That meant, number one, 5 daily prayer. He didn't miss them. He didn't play with them. And then he didn't say, well, I did my 5, I'm good. La. That means he didn't miss those sunnah maratib with the Prophet would pray. That's only recommended, with the exception of Rak'at al-Fajr, the 2 before Fajr. Then most scholars just say, Rak'ataini, sunnah mu'akkada. They were strongly stressed, almost like watching. The Prophet mentioned they were more than the whole of this dunya, and what's in this. And meaning and reward. Because it's already difficult to pray Fajr. You want to pray 2 before Fajr. Now imagine the reward you get. Not to mention, you still have to pray the 5 daily prayer. So it said, Kathir ibadah. This means he's praying in the night. This means he's praying in the night. How much he prayed, how long he prayed, his prostrations. Sometimes we find, we're quick to prostrate and raise and move from position to position. But someone say, "Can you Kathir ibadah?" Oh, when he's by himself, as the Sunnah of Sallam is not to, Allah musta'an tutilu ibadah, Allah musta'an shaqqa ala nas behind the shaykh, that you make the worship to the point that people are like burden. So let me mention, any one of you praying, then remember he has behind the Kabir sin, people up in age, nisa, women, or married, maybe somebody's sick or has a disabled issue. And he said, with this haja, and some people, they got needs, they got to go. He said, salat. Don't make the salat long. What does that mean? Allah had. You could only, no. It means, don't make Isha like Mu'ad, to the point that the man got up the rank because he's reading Surah Al-Baqarah, 4 and 5 pages, Jews, like, come on. You can read something from Surah Al-Baqarah. You can read something from a surah, and the Tafsir, the longer surahs, but don't make each raka'ah 20 minutes. Don't make each raka'ah 15 minutes. The whole Isha, half hour, 45 minutes, like Salat al-Tawheed. That's the meaning. That's the meaning. God said, don't do that. Why? It's behind you. Give 50%, those who up in age, one nisa, na'am, women, and they might have children with them, the babies are crying, one marid, somebody is sick, but not sick enough not to come to the masjid. Not sick enough to come to the masjid. Pardon me, not sick enough to stay away from the masjid. That was a mistake. So they're sick, but not sick enough that they should have stayed home. Like a person with sugar diabetes, for example, that's sickness. His sugar's a little low, but still, he has enough energy. He's not going to pass out if he prays and then goes home and takes his, medicine, if he takes the tablet or he takes the medicine. Or the person who has allergies, his eyes puffy, red, but he can pray Isha, go home, drink some tea, take some medicine. Person has asthma, bronchitis. Person has, pain in his muscles and bones, has arthritis. Even a person, Allah can't stand that long. He has an injury. She has an injury. This is considered someone who's not in good health, whether it's temporarily or temporarily, permanently. But in Hajj, sometimes we blame people. Man, they couldn't wait to finish. They rushing out to this dunya. Yeah, maybe not. But if they got the Hajj, he got to get to the store to get something important before he goes in. His wife told him, don't forget the diapers for the baby. Don't forget we have, no water. Bring some drinking water. Khalas. That's been Hajj. So the Prophet said, don't make the salat extremely long. Don't do salat. Minkum, he said, because amongst you, then he mentioned this people. And have a snap from this group. He said, وَلَكِنْ وَإِذَا تُصَلِّي وَاحِدًا فَتُصَلِّي كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. But if you're praying alone, pray how you like. This is the point when they say that Kathir can Kathir al-Ibadah. Kathir al-Ibadah. Substitute Tawila. He's in substitute for a long time. Allah is stuck to the level. وَيُثْنَى عَلَيْهِ عليه يعني يعني تسبيح وتحميد وتهليل, making long supplication and dua, keeping such. Now, here ibadah, yani watching the tongue. We don't look at that as ibadah, then we'll end. But it's ibadah. You know, watching what you say about people. May Allah forgive us. I mean, sometimes we talk too much about people. I mean, this is ibadah, wara'a. And the zuhud, wara'a. This is the last two things we want to mention. This is type of ibadah. When they say every Kathir kind of Kathir ibadah, don't just think you prayed a lot, you read a lot of Quran. This is inclusive in ibadah. Like a minute ibadah is zuhud. Wara'a. Zuhud. Zuhud, taking only what you need of the dunya, to where you don't get consumed. Some people, they take, they gotta have, to the point it takes them almost out of the fold of Islam. This is the opposite of zuhud. And zuhud is not like some of the extreme groups of Sufiya, they think just wear one clothes. Don't wash it. Just eat a handful of rice, drink a little water, that's it. Nah, you can eat more than that. You can have nice clothing. The Prophet did both. But zuhud here means don't get consumed with the worldly stuff that it will take you away from the remembrance of Allah. Take what you need. Don't overindulge. هذا هو الزهد. والورع نعم والورع means something may be permissible. Something may be halal and tayyibah, but the indulging in it may make it and take it to another level, to where maybe you will become somebody in the hellfire. Wara'ah, for example, spending, giving sadaqah. Now, but wara'ah is not to spend, so people can see you to the point that you're showing off. Wara'ah, yani Allah musta'an, to maybe you have to say something about a person. This is from the deen in Babel, munkar, to disapprove, to dislike evil. This is from the deen. But to do it over and over, or that's all you do, like the brothers be talking about, we got to warn against this when they talk. Sometimes it's not even warranted. That's a person who's not practicing wara'ah. Because they're doing something that's permissible, but that permissibility you may turn into something that can put you in the fire. So to avoid things that are mubah, halal, to avoid things that are halal, might put you in the fire, then this is from wara'ah. This, from the different ways a person can have a lot of worship, as they mentioned, Imam Ibn Kathir, Ibadah, we have abundance of examples in his much and enriched worship in his life, and we'll stop here. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give the Imam great reward for his tremendous benefit he left for the Ummah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us to benefit from the Tafsir of Imam Kathir. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all for our shortcomings, to accept from us our good deeds, and bless us to die the death of the righteous. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا هو أستغفرك وأتوب إليك وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
جزاك الله خير.
What time did Isha come in now? You know, Zaytun.
جزاك الله خير. Almost like 2 minutes left.
Before the Isha.
Yes, 9
مش أنا أسأل عن الإقامة بالأذان وقت الدخول.
Adhan, like another 3 minutes.
Okay, so we'll wait first. That's Abdul Jabbar.
You want your phone back?
I'll get it. Just if you could be so kind, you need to stand, yes, because I don't want to lose it. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Shukran. Thank you. God bless you. Hey, wait a minute. Wait. Don't take my table to China.
No, it's here.